I have been talking to you guys about money for 2.5 years now, and there are still people in my comments who are afraid to start investing in the stock market. And this video is exactly for you. It is time to take that first step. This is not financial advice. This is just what I did in order to become a quarter millionaire and reach Coast-Fi by the age of 30. If I can do it, so can you, and this is how. A lot of people are super afraid of the stock market, and I get that. We recently had a huge crash in April, but that crash has rebounded so much since then, now that we are in the month of July. And so I don't want anyone to miss out on the stock market anymore. I don't want you guys to miss out on this anymore. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you how to invest in the stock market step by step. This is how people are becoming next door millionaires. There is no saving your way to retirement, okay? And I know for a lot of people, you may not be in your 20s. I'm not in my 20s. You may be in your 30s, 40s, even 50s. There are people on my channel who watch me who are in their 50s. And all I'm gonna say is that the time between 50 and 65 is going to pass whether you invest your money or not. So the only difference between now and then is whether or not you decide to put $100 into an ETF and let it grow. So with that being said, I'm going to get right into the steps. It's just practical tips to help you get started. So get a pencil and paper, and we are going to do this today. Number one, we need to set a goal. We need to set a goal based off of our income, and we need to be realistic with that goal. Without being realistic, we will get discouraged. We will start to see other people's numbers, how big they are, and we will start comparing our day one to people's year 3. And that's just not going to help you succeed. So we need to set a goal. It could be a monthly goal, a daily goal, a yearly goal, whichever is more feasible to you. Now, I know a lot of people say that they don't have any extra cash at the end of the month to save or to invest. I want your goal, if that is you, I want your goal to be to invest $5 in 1 month. That is your goal, okay? If you smoke cigarettes, don't buy 1 pack, that's already 10. If you drink, cut back 1 time, cut back 1 time. Eat out 1 less time, okay? And invest that money in the stock market. Make it a goal to invest something. It doesn't have to be hundreds or thousands of dollars. It has to be more than 1 because of the brokerage rules. Invest something. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set a goal. It's gonna be realistic. It doesn't have to be big. It's honestly better off if it is small because there's a guarantee that you will do it. Between $1 and $10, just set that goal so that we can invest that this month. Number 2, you want an emergency fund. Now, a lot of people say that your emergency fund should be between 3 and 6 months of expenses. For me, I have a year just because of how paranoid I am. However, if you are not able to save because you have a lot of expenses, a lot of bills to pay, then save something. Maybe say you have an extra $500 in your emergency fund. Save up to $500. And if that's gonna take you some time, then let it take you some time. Let it take you some time. Save the $500. And once you get to there, don't ever touch it again. Do not touch it. Then every dollar that you can save after that, we are going to invest it into the stock market. We are going to invest, even if it's $2 or $3 at the end of the month. Anything that is change, we're just gonna invest it in there because you now have your emergency fund. Sure, it's not huge, but it's what you can do at the moment, okay? That is step 2. Have an emergency fund. It doesn't need to be 3 to 6 months if you can't get there, but it needs to be something. Anything more than 100 and you're good. Number 3, we're going to choose a broker. And this is where people get lost because this is where things start to get somewhat technical. So a broker is basically like a bank. It's like a bank account that you can invest in. So that's where all your stocks will be held. You have options, and a lot of those options are free. You can pick Charles Schwab. It's not necessarily beginner friendly because you can't buy certain stocks and you can't buy fractional shares of certain stocks. So if you're not seasoned, I wouldn't choose Charles Schwab. You have Vanguard. You can choose Fidelity, E-Trade. There's also Robinhood, which I think is the most beginner friendly. However, I'm not a fan of that one, just because there are, again, certain things that are not available to you on Robinhood in terms of securities. But if you're just trying to get your foot in the door, then Robinhood is fine. You can even invest using Cash App. If you use Cash App, you can invest your money. You can invest in crypto and I think in stocks as well using Cash App. And if anything is going to help you to invest any type of spare change, if it's Cash App, then use it, as long as you're investing your money and putting away for your future. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick a brokerage. I personally like Charles Schwab and I like Fidelity. I think Fidelity is the best one. It's the easiest one to use in terms of interface, but you have options. Just make sure that when you do trade or when you do invest and choose your brokerage, make sure that your commissions are $0. We do not want to pay money to invest in the stock market anymore. That is so 2019. You can simply look up any of these brokerages online and they will help you open an account. And this will be similar to opening a bank account. If you don't have a bank account, then Cash App might be your best bet, because I believe with Cash App, you don't need a bank account. Now, do I suggest foregoing a bank account and using Cash App? No, but if that's all you have, then it's better than nothing. So this is for my beginners. If you don't want to open a bank account, if you don't have a bank account, because you will need to connect your bank account to the brokerage. If you don't have one, if you have Cash App, if you have Chime, I believe you can invest with those as well. So please look into that and move as fast as you can. Number 4 is fund your account. So when you choose your brokerage, you'll have to give your information in order for them to open up an account for you. You'll have to fill out an application, which will ask for your name, your number, address, social security, everything that you have to give in order to have a savings account or a checkings account. So just be sure to give those to the people that ask for it when you are opening your brokerage account. And don't worry, it is safe, it's secure, it's not a scam. Okay, I know a lot of us are very wary when it comes to giving out some of this information, but it is a bank account, and a brokerage account is not a scam. It is how everybody is getting rich, and you are missing out because of fear. So give the information on the secure website and open your account. There are some settlement rules where it takes like 3 days for the money to end up in your account from your bank account, or it takes, if you sell a security, then you can't buy and then sell within that same day. So just be careful of those rules. They'll be very clear to you when you are using that, but just fund your account. It can be $1, $5, anything. But fund your account, put some money in there, and just revel in the fact that you are taking this next step to your future, and that you are no longer, out of the loop. It's no longer being gate kept from you. Okay, so just as a small recap, we're going to set a goal. Okay, set a goal. It's going to be realistic. It can be small if needed. Then we're going to create an emergency fund. Again, if we can't save, then save something. Save something along the lines of $500, as long as you have a little tiny nest egg, so that you can have something at the side if you do need it in an emergency. Number 3, we're gonna choose our broker. There's so many options, like I said. Ally Invest, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, E-Trade, Wealthsimple, anything. The people will work with you, even if it is daunting and you're feeling a little bit, scared or intimidated. You can even walk into the buildings. You've seen Charles Schwab buildings, you've seen Fidelity buildings, E-Trade buildings. If you see a building with any of these names on it, walk into it and tell them, I want to open an account, but I don't know where to start. That is their job. They are so happy to help you with that. So walk in if you need to. If you don't want to put your information on the internet, walk into a building and tell them that you want to open an account. They will be so happy to help you. Number 4, we're going to fund our account. We're putting money in. That means we have to connect our bank accounts to this account. These accounts are secure. They're all FDIC insured, just like your bank account, up to $250,000. That means if you were to lose $250,000, say with some hacking scam or something like that, or the institution collapses, that money up to $250,000 is insured and they will give it back to you. So keep that in mind. Not if you lose it while investing, right? But if you lose it through a collapse, that money is insured, okay? So keep that in mind. You're good. It's just like a bank account. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fund our account. After we fund our account, we're going to start investing. That is the last step. We're going to invest. So a lot of people, they get the account, they fund it, they put the money in, and they're like, great, I'm investing. And then they come back a year later and there's still the same amount of money that they put in from the beginning. And they think that they didn't do it right, because you didn't. You need to invest. So you can fund your brokerage account. So now it's like a bank account. You have money in there, but you need to invest in stocks. You need to invest in index funds, and you need to invest in ETFs. Now, stocks are an individual security, okay? So that's your Apple, your Nvidia, that's your Microsoft, that's your ADM. It's one company. So that's not the most secure way to invest. But if there are companies that you believe in, like say Caterpillar or Waste Management, then feel free to invest in those. But keep in mind that you want to be diversified. Now, if you don't want to think about percentages and how to diversify your portfolio, then ETFs might be your better bet. That's basically taking all of the stocks that I just named and it's putting it into one security. It's putting it into one basket. So that means now you have one share of a stock that has a bit of Nvidia, a bit of Google, a bit of ADM, a bit of P&G. All of those things are in there and it's balanced, and they follow indexes. So the S&P 500 is my favorite index to follow, but you also have other ones too. You have the NASDAQ. There's a few indexes that we can talk about in other videos, but my favorite one, the one that I feel the most safe with, is the S&P 500, because it's the top 500 companies in the US economy. That means you have to qualify to be part of this group. And if you don't qualify, then you're dropped from the S&P 500 and someone replaces you. So they're doing the work for you. If you are following this index, you don't have to worry about a company going bankrupt and then you lose all your money, because they will get kicked out of the index and a better company will replace them. And then you are still earning money on that. And that is why it's so important to keep in mind things like Fortune 500 companies. Those are in the S&P 500 index. So your Nationwide, your Microsoft, like I said, your CVS, those companies have to work to stay Fortune 500 and stay within the S&P 500 index. But before I get too much on my soapbox, I'm going to stop right there, because that is all of the steps that we need in order to invest. I hope you took notes, but if you didn't, rewind it and watch it again, because it's time to start investing our money. No more living off of a savings account. No more just waiting for interest to accrue on our savings. We're starting to compound that money now. So get your $100, get your $10, $20, invest your money. If you can do it, you will be so glad you did. That is everything for this video. Please leave a comment down below on a stock that you are interested in investing in, or what your investing journey is looking like at the moment, and I will talk to you down there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.